We've all been there. We've all been with someone that you break up with on a lukewarm Tuesday night. The kind of breakup you see coming for a while. Like when a TV show goes on for a couple seasons too long, you're just kind of waiting for the end. It finally ends, and you don't take it well. Especially when you see the stud she's with now, that she told you not to worry about when you're in your relationship with her. It was right in front of your face, and even still, you told everyone it was fine, and you're okay with it. And you also spent your time making excuses for all of her poor behaviours. Almost like you were defending someone who didn't defend you, and you convinced yourself it was all okay because you loved her. But what do you do when you're faced with that? Well, you try and move on to the next best available option, and sometimes you get a stopgap, someone to spend some time with for the time being to transition you into feeling a little bit better about the breakup, or you find the person you were always supposed to be with. I swear to God this is a tactical analysis video about Frimpong replacing Trent. I'll start. Now, on maybe a related note, Frimpong looks like he could be set for a move to Liverpool to replace the soon-to-be-departed Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I have to say, they couldn't have gotten a more contrasting player stylistically. Now for Leverkusen, he spent most of his time as an attacking wing-back, in a back five, or as a winger in a very fluid 4-4-2 that has seen him operate in a position that leaves him high up against the defensive line in attacking phases, being the source of width on that right-hand side, and which has mostly been the focus of transitional attacking movements as opposed to more controlled ones, with Leverkusen favouring the left when they attack. He even remains on the last line when Leverkusen get into crossing opportunities on the left-hand side, looking for the drilled cross across to the far post for the back post tap-ins. He can also make movements from the right when the player's on the far side to either receive the ball in behind while occupying his position on the last line, or to receive it inside and carry it into space that's opened up anywhere on the pitch he feels like. Because one of his better qualities is his unreal acceleration mixed with ball carrying qualities make him a transitional demon. His ability to go from back to front quicker than afar is astonishing, and he's a player that doesn't seem to slow down when he receives the ball, making runs off the ball from deep or with the ball, receiving it and bursting into more advanced areas of the pitch. He can do them both. Even his acceleration across short distances is fantastic. Short little bursts when standing up a marker to gain a yard or two to get a crossway is brilliant. His movements are predictable, but the suddenness of them makes them near impossible to deal with for an opposition defender. He's also got a really nice crossing technique. Very lean back while striking the ball with the inside of his foot means he can get a really good amount of curl to get it behind a defensive line while taking it away from the goalkeeper, and has garnered a large amount of assists over a couple of years at Leverkusen. Can even cross from the half space the odd time he finds himself in that position. The one thing he has the support of at Leverkusen that he won't have at Liverpool is his link up with an underlapping runner, which in recent times has come in Mukiele. The odd time he can't use his electric pace to get in behind, he can use the run of a supporting player to exploit the opposition, because the reason he generally can't advance is because he's being doubled up on. Has to be said, he's a little technically poor, not an amazing passer or ball retention specialist, but to be fair, Leverkusen have never really had a need for it. Slotter's already shown a capability of improving players based on what his system requires, and he offers more than enough qualities to make up for that. It actually makes me wonder how Liverpool will utilise him, being that he's been a player that has played on the last line for Leverkusen, as I was saying before. Will we see Salah move more inside, which he has done, to be fair, quite a bit this season? But then who remains the deeper player in this wide overload for Liverpool? A slight reshuffle needed, but this is probably what a slot team will actually look like when we see it going forward. And he's also capable of making underlapping runs if Salah would look to remain out wide. And what Salah has excelled with this season is having runners around him, so Bosley has played that role fantastically, and I think Frimpong is a level up. Now when in the defensive shape, he presses like a winger, and drops into the right wing-back position in a back five. The one quality he has in that position is, you guessed it, pace. Presses really well, suddenly getting into his marker, and his smaller size makes him a little bit of a terrier. Obviously can be physically outmatched, but the tenacity he displays makes him a key presser, allowing Salah to remain higher up for more transitional opportunities. Imagine those two though on counter-attacks. Salah we know is a transitional freak, and having Frimpong making that run on the outside of him where Salah can use his vision to find those runs, or use that to take away markers and find a shot for himself, could be deadly. That right-hand side is going to be feared, but the issue is that you're leaving Frimpong isolated defensively, potentially. While he can recover in behind well due to his acceleration and pace, if he finds himself a little bit out of position, he can make that up no problem, and it must be annoying, kind of like a fly that won't leave your room. You know you can crush it, but anytime you've gotten an advantage back, it just manages to evade you and gain its advantage back. Does that analogy work? I don't know, I don't really care. It is worth pointing out that he's weak in a 50-50 challenge. Players don't challenge him directly because they can't risk him taking the ball past, so he can avoid it from an attacking sense with his style, but defensively it's another issue. Aerially, physically, he struggles to battle and duel. Konate was probably hoping to have an easier season, but I don't think that'll be the case. He's probably seeing him come in and reacting like when you go around a relative and they offer you a biscuit and it's a flavour you hate, but you don't want to be rude, so you just kind of accept it. Maybe a bit harsh that, but it's because he has a lot of qualities that I think make up for his shortcoming, but he does need a certain structure around him to thrive in. Let's not forget, as I said at the start, he was an attacking wing-back in a back five or a winger in a 4-4-2, and it got the best out of his qualities. But those don't translate to what Slot has done so far with Liverpool. I think this has the potential to be a fantastic signing, but it'll depend on other business Liverpool do to see how the team balances out. But I'd love to know what you think, lads. Let me know down below in a bit.